Hello, everyone, and welcome to a lunchtime episode of SuppTalk Radio. As always, we appreciate your time. And again, my friend Robik Samborski here. So, to give you folks a little bit of a background, it's been a very interesting week and a half. A lot of politics, a lot of political stuff going on out there. You know, whether you are for, against, impartial to Russia, Ukraine, it's not the point of the matter here. It's the fact of war should not be taking place. Innocent people are losing their lives. Mothers, kids, parents, friends should not be happening. And my good friend that you see here texted me last night, one of my closest friends. I could tell he was upset. He said, Sean, can we talk tomorrow? And kind of that's where we are. And as always, allow me to introduce my closest friend, Robik. Robik, again, welcome back. And the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I interacted with a few industry insiders, a few channels. I don't even have to name who they are because that's not important. What is important is that they reached out and they wanted to get some kind of a perspective or an interview or whatnot regarding the situation. I mean, I don't blame them because obviously Ukraine is my homeland. That's where I was born. So people always viewed me as Russian, the nicknames Angry Russian and whatever. I mean, you heard all the jokes, obviously, on the Final Scoop and whatnot. And, it never offends me or anything like that. I do understand, but I figured out, when we were talking, at first I didn't want to talk about the subject at all. But usually when shit hits the fan, certain things accumulate and certain things kind of like boil inside of you, the good and the bad. Actually, there is a lot of good. Not that there is anything good can happen from a war, because obviously there are no winners in this, but you see the true colors of people and you see things that just don't sit well with you. And obviously by some posts that I made and hints that I made and whatnot, and people were questioning. And I figured out it's I never liked when somebody sends subliminal messages, because to me that's it's basically as if you have something to say, but at the same time you're not saying it, because you're too careful. And when people found out that I'm doing this with you, especially the last one that we did with Rich and Carolina, uh, got a lot of very, very positive feedback. In fact, some people said that it's the best they've seen yet because of the type of questions that you asked, that you clearly didn't give a shit. You just asked questions that came to mind that you thought were interesting, and we answered them truthfully. And I think that that's kind of like, there was no anger. We actually had a great time. Everybody enjoyed it. And I think that I decided that if I do speak up, I mean, obviously on the Final Scoop, I pretty much said to the crew that, guys, and it has nothing to do with the war, even previously, we did have some disagreements among us. But I said, you know what? It's never personal. You have to let me be myself. If I can be myself, if I cannot voice my opinion, then I don't want to be part of anything. I've been afraid my entire life. I mean, most of my life. I've been afraid. I was trying to please people. I was trying to say the right things. I tried to be liked, whether it's my family or friends or whatever or not. But, what kind of an example do I set for my daughter? I'm not saying that you have to be a revolutionary and go against the world and be this hard ass, very, very difficult person to deal with and somebody who fights all the time. That's not the case. But at the same time, if something is wrong and you're not voicing your opinion, I mean, that's what cowards are made of. That's not people that are going to change the industry or the world or whatnot. There is a war going on. Innocent people are dying. And I've seen some people that I thought were, I didn't consider them really friends. I considered them more like acquaintances or people that I know or interact with on occasional. And they came through with flying colors, with their support, asking how they can help. And they deserve respect. They deserve utmost respect because I didn't expect it. I'm ashamed to admit, but I didn't expect it. And then people that I expected to do the right thing acted indifferent. They acted like cowards. They acted like they don't give a shit. And, Rich, who you're obviously friends with, and, who's actually one of my close friends, he texted me this morning, knowing that I'm going to go on air with you. He said, just don't speak out of anger. He says,
Yep.
because just be truthful. And I told him, I said, I agree wholeheartedly. And as you can see, I'm not angry. I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. It breaks my heart to see what's going on. And sitting and doing nothing, I think, is wrong. I'm not a political person. I don't go outside to, to protest and things like that. When you see people with Ukrainian flags outside, it's, I'm not one of them. It's not because
Yep.
I'm against it, God forbid. No. In fact, I have utmost respect for them, but it's just not me. At the same time, not doing anything and sitting and pretending like there is nothing going on just because I'm in the United States, that's wrong too. There is a war going on, and we have a psychotic scumbag that can press the button any minute, and we
Yep.
all involved. We already involved. Look at the gas prices. Look at what's going on. People are scared. People are scared, and rightfully so, because people in Ukraine last Wednesday, they did not expect that Thursday morning they were going to wake up to bombings and stuff like that. Kirill, who is one of our athletes, you've met him at the seminar. He's in a bomb shelter. He was in a bomb shelter for days with his pregnant girlfriend. And that's that's not something where you wish on anyone to be. And like I said, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to us too.
Yep.
So first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank Dan from Ghost, who's been, people often thought that for some reason, I don't even know, I heard this many times, that Dan and I may be not friendly, not friends, and we don't like each other or whatnot, because people like to assume shit. I have utmost respect for Ghost for what they've done in the industry. And I've been purchasing his products. I like his protein. I think the Nutter Butter is actually one of the best tasting proteins on the market. My
Yep.
daughter loves it, and I never hide that fact. And yes, Dan offered many times to send it to me for free, but I gladly purchase it to support. And I know for a fact that Danny's purchasing our bare knuckle, and we've been nothing but friendly. He offered his help numerous times in the last few days, texting, reaching out. Obviously, Mark from Iron Brothers, who, I mean, you know him very well. It's probably one of
Yep.
the nicest people you'll ever meet. So no surprises there. People have been reaching out. Obviously, Shane, Lucas, who's been very, very supportive. I mean, Lucas is amazing, just like Polish people are. I mean, they're really helping out Ukrainians, and considering how close they are to Russia, I mean, they're putting the nation at risk by helping others. And
Yes.
yet they still don't give a fuck because they're doing the right thing. And the support came from all over. I mean, our friend from Australia, James, he reached out. He says, I can't send no goods or anything like that. And we didn't accept any money because, I don't want to look as if I'm cashing out on it or anything like that, because that's not my style. And to be honest with you, it's very hard to get money to Ukraine. So I told him no money. And he still, without any warning, he just transferred $500 to us. And he said,
Wow.
you do the right thing with it. And that's it. And James is not this rich brand owner, multi-millionaire or anything like that. Just a quiet guy who reached out and he said, like, what can I do? Mark reached out and he said, like, I'm in Canada. What can I do to help? Alexander, who you know very well, I mean, he's an artist. And he just actually, we talked this morning and he said, like, people that are donating and helping out, he's going to actually select, or we're going to select together a winner, and he does amazing art, and he's going to give it to the winner. He's going to just select a winner and give one of his beautiful pieces for free to thank
Excellent.
people for helping out. Those are the people that you want to thank. But at the same time, I see people that have, I mean, obviously Jake from ASC Supplements, he jumped on it right away. He's a veteran.
Yeah, I love Jay.
He donates, I believe, 10% of sales to help people. Uh, you know, that's real. Those are the people that you want to acknowledge. Those are the people that when shit hits the fan, they the ones. But at the same time, you have others who claim to have integrity, who claim to have something. One of our athletes, I'm not going to name who he is because I'm still very, very angry about it. But at the same time, it's too close to home. One of our athletes told me flat out, I'm not getting involved. I'm not supporting. It's not my war. it has nothing to do with me,
Yeah.
and it's embarrassing. He has such a huge following. He's so well known. And to hear something like that, and he finished it off with saying, I hope you understand. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't understand. I'll never understand. That is something like, what do you think? I'm doing it just because I was born in Ukraine? I'm doing it because I'm a human being. Carolina can barely feel her back. For the past couple of days, she's been packing and wrapping and loading up trucks. She hasn't been
Yeah.
taking care of Apollon needs. She's been taking care of people's needs. And I know some people are geographically challenged. She's not Russian. She's not Ukrainian. She's Belarusian. And
She's human.
Belarus is helping Russia attack Ukraine. And
Oh,
still,
geez. Okay.
she's still helping out, and day in, day out, she's just helping out. She's doing all she can. She got hurt, her back is killing her, but and tomorrow she's going somewhere else, to another place, to just volunteer. Those are the real heroes. Those are the people that I look up to. Apollon's going to do something truly, truly spectacular in the next 2-3 days, and I couldn't be more proud of my team. And I can't reveal it yet because it's not really final. We just want to make sure that it's a done deal. But people like that helping us, our marketing consultant Daniel Pierce and Joe Volgi, right now with the Arnold Classic, with specials, with promotions and everything. I called Joe last night and I said that I need his help with certain work for us marketing wise. And Joe and I, we actually butt heads all the time. This week we actually good, so probably next week we're gonna have a fight, which is normal. And as soon as I told him what I need him to do, I said, I know that you're very, very busy. I know that because he works with multiple brands, and he's a freelance. And he immediately jumped in. He goes, it's gonna be done. And you know what? It was pretty big project. It was done this morning. He did it
Wow.
overnight, no questions asked. Those are the heroes. Those are the people that actually make the difference. But I'm not going to say I'm angry. I'm more disappointed at certain people. And yes, I will not hold back. I will say what's on my mind. I'm extremely, extremely disappointed in Mark Glazier, the owner of NutraBio.
Mm-hmm.
I always praise the brand. I always praise what they do. But at the same time, Justin Hall reached out to me a few days ago and he said, oh, you know what? Some Americans don't know what's going on, and they just don't know. So no need to call anyone out. No, there is need. There is need. The reason is because just because you live in the United States across the ocean doesn't mean that you can't or should not acknowledge what's going on by claiming
Definitely.
integrity and everything else. When I posted first, I said, guys, all we need is just clothes, food, something. Just help out. Even post something like, a hashtag no war or something. Just show that you're against it. You have such large platforms. I'm in the supplement industry and in the gym industry. You are part of it. I'm part of it. Just say something so people can hear you. The more we speak about it, the more awareness we're going to create. And I specifically said, all differences aside, let's come together and just help those that need help right now. Later on, we can call each other's name, and we can insult each other and backstab each other and do what is done probably not just in the supplement industry but every industry. Everybody is so preoccupied with the Arnold Classic. Fuck the Arnold Classic. It's a bodybuilding show. It's a bodybuilding show. Bombs are not flying over Columbus. Bombs are flying over Ukraine. At the very moment that you're going to announce the winner, there is somebody who's dying. And I tagged Mark Glazier specifically because he's 10 minutes from Apollon Gym. Fuck Apollon Nutrition. It's not about Apollon Nutrition or NutraBio. It's just about the right thing. And I specifically tagged him, and he's a fellow Jew. His ancestors, they come from the same region, from the former Soviet Union, I believe. There's 6 million Jews who died in World War II because Nazis invaded. This is the same thing. Possibly because of the nuclear weapons and everything, this might be even worse. Exactly. I don't get a text message. I don't get comment. I don't get anything. But Mark Glazier, a 60-year-old man or whatever he is posting at the same time, trying to show off how he can use nunchucks, and he pretends to be a Bruce Lee. I'm sorry, but I can't fucking. That pissed me off. That pissed me off because that's not right. Just because it doesn't affect your company or doesn't affect you directly yet, you should not be ignorant. Mark
Exactly.
Lobliner is also a Jew, and he also, I believe, comes from the same region. And the only post he makes regarding it, what we need is a rematch between Ivan Drago and Rocky.
Saw that. I didn't get that at all.
Really? You joking about it? You think it's funny? I have a suggestion for you. Why don't you face me? Let's do a charity match with money going to the victims. I'll be more than happy to do it. I will be even willing to donate $10,000. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Beat me. You can fucking knock me out because I'm more than willing to. I can take a punch. But you decided to joke. To joke about what? You know me. I have a very good sense of humor. Very good sense of humor, and it's very hard to push my buttons. But there is a time and place, and we don't cross that line. As human beings, there are so many channels. Post something, say something, use your platform to influence people and to make a difference. And again, I'm not running for office or anything like that, and I'm not doing it just because it's close to home. Yes, I have friends actually on both sides. I lost some of the friends. I possibly lost Apollo Nutrition Russia because obviously I can't do shit right now.
Yep.
There's nothing I can do. We worked for 3 or 4 years to get into it. But you know what? It is what it is. Apollon is growing. We're doing fine. You know what? You win some, you lose some. If I lose some money, I'm cool with it. I'm better than that, than the post that I made about the little girl that got shot and died for absolutely no reason. No reason whatsoever. She was shot. Her family was shot. She died. So I'm right. And what's right is to do the right thing, to voice your opinion. And I'm going to say this. If somebody doesn't like what I'm saying right now, I really don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Challenge me. But seriously, this is too close to home. You don't want to fight me on this one. You really don't want to challenge me. You really don't want to fight me on this one. My grandfather is buried in Ukraine. You literally should think before you're going to challenge me on this one. Challenge me on Apollo Nutrition. Call my products crap. Say that they loaded with caffeine. Say whatever the fuck you want. I really don't give a shit. But if you're going to challenge me on this one, you really, really are on thin ice. And I would suggest to avoid that subject at any cost. Because this is painful. This hurts. This hurts, and this is something that I don't know if I can stop it or anyone can stop it. But at least I'll be able to look in the mirror, and I'm going to be able to look in my daughter's eyes and knowing that I did something. Maybe it's not much. I mean, pretty much I've done nothing. I've done nothing. Somebody texted or posted on social media, you guys are heroes. I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm just the person who's trying to do the right thing. Heroes are over there dying. They're dying for absolutely no reason. They're becoming heroes for absolutely no reason because they're defending their freedom. They're defending something that is about to be taken from them. Somebody's trying to take your freedom. Somebody's trying to come to your home. If I go to your house right now, I'm going to knock on a door. And when you open the door, I still have to be invited in to get actually into your house. Otherwise, I have to stand right at the entrance and talk to you from there because you did not invite me to your house. Now try to imagine that I don't knock on the door. I barge in. I take your family. I destroy your livelihood. I take stuff that doesn't belong to me. I occupy your house. I kick you out of your house. What are you going to say then? That's what it's all about.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough, and as I said, you can't take sides. It's about just the people involved, and it's sad, and I hate to see you, my friend, being put in this awkward position because I know, and you're a strong person, and I love you to death, and again to see you like this, and I know it hurts, it hits home.
Sean, for some reason I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Did you mute?
No, I think it's on your side. Can you hear me? Robik, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? You're on mute. You're on mute. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Stay tuned, folks. Robik will be right back. Sorry for any inconvenience. But again, as we're saying here, folks, again, we're not asking anybody to take sides. But again, when you look at the casualties and whatnot, war is not a good thing. And again, Robik and the team, they're doing a phenomenal thing. I know he doesn't want to be called a hero, and he's not a hero, but for everything that he's doing and everybody that's contributing, we truly appreciate everything.
Yeah, it's back on. Yeah, somebody I think called me, and that's the reason why the volume got knocked off.
Okay. No, what I was saying was, I know you're a brother to me, and obviously we have a lot of good times, and you know, it hurts that it's hurting you the way it is, and it shouldn't happen, but it's sad. It's sad.
You know what? I was born in Ukraine, and I left when I was 13, and then I lived in Israel for about 4 years, and then after that I lived in South Africa for 5 years, and then I moved over here. And every time somebody would ask me where you're from, my accent is all fucked up because it's a mix of so many things. I do speak Hebrew, I do speak Russian. My Ukrainian is absolutely terrible. I don't speak very good Ukrainian. I do understand. So I never questioned actually. Um, Never thought about my homeland and patriotism and stuff like that, because I don't know, it's very hard for me. I always felt like I'm a visitor everywhere, so to speak. I not to be overly dramatic, but I always thought of myself as a citizen of the world, so to speak. But when something like that happens, they were talking about the possibility of war for a month or so or longer. I never thought that this is going to happen. You think that maybe possibly, but in 21st century, brother against brother, Russia and against Ukraine, I could never see that happening. Never. I'm usually decent at predicting things, but I didn't see this happening. But once it did happen, I didn't expect that it will hit me so fucking hard. I didn't expect that it's going to hit me so hard. And seeing people around me doing what they're doing, the flags, and we made some amazing friends in the most unlikely or difficult times. And at the same time, some people who I thought were friends were sending me very, very nasty messages. I mean, even a threat or two, not to show my face in Russia or whatnot. But what I want to emphasize is the fact that I'm not against Russia. I was never against Russia. I'm never against the Russian people. You can't be responsible for acts of terror and violence that is implemented by a dictator, somebody who wants to bring Soviet Union back. That's not. I have amazing friends over there, and I hope that we'll be able to preserve our friendship. That's what I hope. But at the same time, I don't know.
It's tough that stuff like this is what brings out the true colors of individuals. That sucks.
Oh, 100%. Somebody told me recently, a friend of mine, that Ukrainians, a lot of Ukrainians were helping the Nazis during war, World War II. And he was not wrong. It's true. My grandfather's sister was actually murdered by Nazis. She was hiding, and she was ratted out to the Germans by Ukrainians. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that, does it reflect on the entire nation? I mean, where are we going from here? I mean, all Muslims are terrorists? No. All whites are racists? No. I mean, you can't judge the entire nation by a few rotten apples. It just doesn't work that way. And that's the reason why I absolutely refuse to hate. I refuse to hate because that's not the way Not that the way I was brought up, it's just not something I believe in. I'll give everybody a fair chance.
I know, and I think that's the problem. Is there's still some people that hold against you and me what our ancestors and our ancestors did, and I wish that shit would just go away. You can't
You know
judge
what?
me on what my ancestors did, or judge you on what your family did in a previous life.
Being fully transparent and being fully honest and giving zero fucks, I'm going to say this. When the whole, you know, asking for forgiveness from people of color, or getting on your knees, or I saw even people kissing some people's feet and stuff like that. I was actually told that that's the right thing to do, that I should
Fuck no.
apologize to black people, and I said, I'm not going to. I'll apologize to anyone that I hurt. I cannot apologize for something that I didn't do. I'm
Exactly.
not responsible for all the white people that were racists, just like I'm not holding all the German people responsible for World War II and killing 6 million Jews. That's just not the way it is. And I'm just voicing my opinion about it, and that's not going to happen. But at the same time, what's going on right now in the world, specifically in Ukraine, this can actually move outside and go into Europe and possibly to United States. Even without a war, we're already in war. We're already affected by it. Just some of us don't feel it.
Yep.
That's plain and simple. We don't feel it because, again, if it doesn't happen here, then who the fuck cares? I'm not. Just do the fucking right thing. But I'm sorry, if you're going to pretend that nothing is going on, or you're going to say how much love you have, how much integrity, selling a product and donating 50 cents or $1 to Ukrainian people, are you fucking serious? So you're promoting your brand. That's what you're doing. You're increasing sales. That's what you're doing. That's all that you're doing. I mean, it's not bad when you're donating to something like, a charity, like, I don't know, Cancer Association or a foundation, or, to children's fund or something like that. It's nice. It's nice. And I mean, why not? $1 is not going to do anything. But the thing is, when you're trying to push sales and, encourage people to buy your product with, 10 cents, a quarter, or $1 going to Ukraine, I mean, we can do better. Sometimes money is not even needed. Sometimes it's just needed for you to say something. That's more than enough. All the brands, everybody, we have a platform. We're doing email blasts and stuff like that, pushing our products, pushing our brand, and trying to sell. I mean, just say something that you're against war. Somebody showed me something today that it was pretty impressive, though. Funny, but impressive. Somebody showed me a website that sells anabolic steroids.
Okay.
Obviously illegal substances. And the website said that basically all the purchases or profits, or 25% or whatever, is going to go to help Ukraine from selling anabolic steroids. Yeah, no, I saw it with my own eyes, and they said, if you're not supporting Ukraine, then fuck you. I thought it was pretty funny. Like I said, I can't say that they will be actually donating money, but I can't say that they won't either, because I don't have the facts. So why would I say something I don't know? But you know what? Regardless whether they actually will donate or they won't donate, the fact that everybody's who's buying from them, their customer base, is seeing that they're supporting Ukraine, that they're actually creating awareness or whatever. You know what? I mean, I might be wrong on this, but I kind of like it. I like it. I mean, it's ironic, but I do like it, because they're already doing something. Like, again, I don't know if they're going to be donating or not. Some of those charities and whatnot, they fake, and they're not really. But the thing is like, you creating an awareness. Like right now, what you and I are doing, regardless of the fact that I'm upset with certain people or I'm praising certain people, you and I are creating awareness right now, and it's more than enough. Now imagine, all the brands of the year and nominees for brands of the year and all the athletes and influencers. I mean, the word influencer is the stupidest thing ever. But guess what? Now you can actually influence. Instead of
Yeah.
influencing to buy junk that most of you are selling, why don't you influence people to create awareness and like, look, you know what? I have 2 million followers. I'm telling you on a daily basis to buy crap that I'm not using. But how about, you know what? You just put a hashtag no war or something like that.
Yep. So, Robik, are you still taking donations now, or is everything kind of already left the building and already in transit? I mean, people, is it too late for
So
people to
basically,
still
just
help
to
out?
clarify, and thank you for asking this question because it seems to be a confusion about this. So we worked with this company that transports goods. I mean, it's a shipping company that transports everything to Ukraine. When we were sending, supplements, they fully operating, and they a little bit backed up. But the thing is, we are collecting everything at a pollen gym. People are just coming and they dropping off stuff. And
Yep.
then we box it ourselves. We're doing everything ourselves. We have people, volunteers that are coming to the gym. I mean, our supplement store right now looks more like like
Like
a
your daughter's
clothing
closet.
store. Yeah, it's like a
Like your daughter's.
supermarket right now.
Yep.
So we're boxing everything over there, and then we have friends that are helping, and they coming with a van and they taking everything. It's not actually not that far from Apollo. I think it's in Woodbridge, which is like 10 or 15 minutes, and they're
Okay.
transporting everything over there, and then they ship it through, I believe, Poland to Ukraine. And then
Okay.
there's other company, I think, in Brooklyn. That's where Carolina was for about 2 or 3 days. They sending like whole trucks. So we are not the ones who are doing it. We are basically just agents
Okay.
or helpers or whatever you want to call us, or a
Yep.
transit place where people can do it. But you don't have to come to us. We get nothing out of it. Just go
Yeah.
anywhere. There are a few locations, restaurants. There are, grocery stores. There are people you can just look it up, and it's much easier than sending money because it's definitely going to end up in the right hands. So they told us, for example, yesterday, I believe, that stop sending clothes because clothes are not really necessity right now. But if you can
Yeah.
send something like thermals, for the soldiers, that will be helpful. Other than that, I mean, what do people need when they don't have electricity and stuff like that? Candles, matches, batteries,
Mm-hmm.
flashlights, canned food, because not everybody can actually cook pasta or whatever. So canned
Yep.
food, that helps a lot, because obviously, right now it's not really easy to bring products. I mean, so if they can bring it, unless I already heard that Russians are talking about cutting off the supply, between Poland and Ukraine. But this is the only way currently to help. So what we're doing at Upon, it's an ongoing process until they tell us that they cannot accept it or it's not possible. Up until that point, we are accepting it, and just we're doing whatever we can.
So is there like a main society that it goes to over there? Like not a Blue Cross Blue Shield, but is there a main hub, or like who accepts the donations over there? Do you know?
To be honest with you, I think that it just crosses the border, and I think they just give it to people, and that's it.
Okay.
Because right now everything is, it's easy to organize something when it's an ongoing thing. I think this is so fresh. They just bringing, just like they gave weapons to people. They basically like, opened the truck full of machine guns and stuff like that, and they said, well, you know what, you're fighting for your country. Just grab
Yeah.
whatever you can and defend, and that's it. So I'm pretty sure that there are also, like, organizations and bigger organizations, and probably even Red Cross, I would suspect, at least, that are doing it. But the truth is that you can look it up, and you don't have to go to Apollon or anything. I mean, it's not like we're the only ones. That's the reason why I insist, don't call us, heroes or anything like that. Just doing the right thing that a lot of people are doing. It's not just us.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I know you say you don't want to take credit for hero, but you are a voice that's getting a lot of people
That's, I think,
together.
the best statement. I mean, it is a voice. That's all it is. It's all about being a voice. Because the thing is that the economy hasn't been very good in the last couple of months. I mean, obviously due to pandemic and due to many things. So not everybody can afford, to buy new clothes or whatever. Not everybody can do it. But even if you're a voice, you don't have to buy anything. You definitely don't buy Apollo Nutrition products, because it's not how it works. We don't expect you to buy to make money off of you and then claim, we're gonna give $1 to Ukraine. No, you don't have to buy. You don't have to be a member of the gym. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to be our athlete. You don't have to be part of our brand. You can be with Ghost or NutraBio or X and Sledge. I don't even give a shit. You can wear a shirt from your company. This is the time where we don't compete. This is the time where we actually join forces. And I think this is the part that that's been kind of missing. ASC, like I said numerous times, Jake is our competition. I don't like using that word. Mark from Iron Brothers, he's our competition. We competing, but we don't really. We make the same products. We make the products for the same industry, for the same consumer, hoping that somebody's going to pick our products over anyone else's products. But we still can be civil to each other. And when shit hits the fan, we can still join forces. There is more than enough business for everybody. You don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be, put your difference aside. Doesn't matter who's brand of the year. Right now, it has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter who has the strongest pre-workout or the best tasting protein. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But when I see some dumb motherfucker is tagging me, I'm doing fucking arms and dedicating my workout to Ukraine. If I was next to him, I would fucking punch him in the face. Are you serious? You dedicating your arm workout? I mean, you're a grown-up man, and that's what you're doing.
No, I agree. Robik, I know this is a serious conversation, but I do want to share just a little levity from our good old friend Pete here. Says, I stopped and made a donation for Ukraine, and then Robik took my week's allowance on Apollon supplements. Love you, brother, and keep doing what you're doing.
Pete's been amazing. He's not the best looking guy. He's kind of old looking as well, and he looks more like my former rabbi. But at the same, sorry, Pete, I had to. He reached out to me and he said, like, I'm going to be there after work. He came in, he asked how he can help. I mean, Peter's just, sweetest man. I mean, he's just so incredible and he's so supportive, not just with us. I mean, look, he's, great friends again with Mark, Iron Brothers. I mean, he's friends with everybody. He's a huge supporter to the industry, and somebody like you who just like really likes the industry and he actually genuinely cares. But yeah, I mean, Pete's been helping us actually so much, even behind the scenes, that people are not even aware of. Whenever I needed that man, all I had to do is just text him and he was there. I mean, I really, really, really value our friendship. I mean, Rabbi is a good guy.
It's a grandfather syndrome.
Yeah. But plus, he has no life, so what else is he gonna do?
And just sharing a couple here. So our good friend Eric Schwartz here. This is how you make the world a better place. And thank you, Eric, for watching.
Coming from Eric, it's it's always a compliment. Whether he's gonna praise the product or he's gonna give thumbs up, that's another person. Whether he was with Animal or he was with NutraBio or he was with GAT, all I had to do for a number of years is pick up the phone. And Peter and I actually discussed this. Like, it doesn't bother me really when people think that I'm a prick or they think that I'm angry or whatever, because people like Eric and people like Pete and people I believe like yourself, you guys know better. The only difference maybe between me and certain other individuals is what you see is what you get, and sometimes truth hurts, and you don't want to hear the truth.
Yep. And then your lovely daughter is on the watch here. She says she's very excited for Bella and Kata. I don't know if those are people or if that's terms that she's using.
That's the only two friends she has. She's my daughter is a very unique individual. I'll put it this way. But in all honesty, this is the second time she's watching it, and thank you, Jess, Bella, Cara. Thank you, guys. I mean, it's. This is what it's all about. At the end of the day, my daughter and I, we actually crack jokes just the way I do it with you. And today I actually showed her a picture. I'm going to post that picture. And I compared one of her photos to Adam Wednesday.
Yeah.
Adam from Adam's Family Wednesday. And I said, you look as weird as her. And she looked at it. She looked at me and then she started just laughing. But, I call Jess more like a friend. even though sometimes I can be a strict father, but she's a friend of mine. And this is, I want to just give her something that I never had. And that is something to be proud of, that her dad did something right. And at the
Yep.
same time, to show her to speak up for herself and also do the right thing. And, and not to give a damn what anyone thinks. As long as you're doing the right thing, as long as you're making the right decisions. Look, I'm not a saint. I've done a lot of bad things. I've done a lot of mistakes. I've hurt people too. And I did some things that I wish I wouldn't have done. I'm even ashamed of. But one day, thank God, I think I woke up and I realized, this is not the way to do it. And still,
Yeah.
I still fuck up quite often, but it's part of life. But at the end, it's not only about, like what Rocky said, it's not how hard you get hit, but getting up and moving forward. Well, the same thing with this. It's not about the mistakes, as long as you learn from them and you move forward and try at least to do the right thing. Not that you're going to succeed each and every time, but at least try. Saying you have integrity, saying that you are honest, saying that you are a good guy, let other people judge.
Yeah.
Show your actions. But now is the time. Now is the time to show what you're made of. Because right now there is a threat, not in Ukraine. Ukraine is already, the damage that they sustained, even if it ends today, hopefully, this damage is going to be for decades.
Yeah.
For decades.
Yeah.
But it can escalate. It can still escalate, and it can come here. And that's what we have to do to prevent this, or at least try and prevent it.
Yes. Yes. So do you think Jessica's watching to hear what Dad has to say, or thinking Rich might pop in again?
Oh, she definitely likes Rich more. And at this point, I'm starting to suspect she likes you more than she likes me, which is fine. You're a likable guy.
But I'm an old man. Come on, Pete still got me, but I'm older than you are.
I always taught Jess to respect her always. So you know what? I think you have an upper hand because I'm 47, but you're like fucking 87. So
So wait,
she
you're
has
telling
to
her to
respect
respect
you.
your elders, but yet you don't respect your elders.
I don't, but I just told you. You see, you're not only old, but you're also deaf. I just
What?
told you I make mistakes. I'm no saint.
And that's why I still love you. So just a few. I don't know if JC Gaines. Much love, Rob. Let's keep doing the right thing.
Thank you, JC.
But no, a lot of people in here just kind of reiterating the same thing, Robik, that everybody's just very happy to support. Everybody's glad to be watching, and I said earlier, it's about a voice. I mean, any little thing matters on anything that anybody can do. Like you said, even as simple as a hashtag or something in some kind of post, just to make people aware. And again, not looking for sides, and we don't need to take sides. But again, look at the casualties. Look at the innocent people that are going through this.
Well, you know what? When we spoke last time, I told you Rich is a perfect example. And Rich and I talked about it, like I said, and he said that he lost some friends and he's okay with it because they were never friends in the first place. He wants to kind of get rid of all the garbage that he shouldn't have in his life. But as soon as I texted Rich, I said, like, Rich, because Rich is very fast. If you ask him to do something, Rich is so disciplined. He is way more disciplined than I am, way more reliable than I am, more punctual than I am. God, he's good. And I
'Cause he's
asked him, I
young.
said, can you make a graphic that we are going to, donate to Russia, to Ukraine? I'm willing to donate to Russia too, because God knows they're going to need it. And, I asked him in the afternoon or late afternoon in the evening, and I told him, I said, no rush, you can do it tomorrow, whatever. Nah, did it the same day, took the project immediately, and he nailed it. And he was like, yeah, it's done. Yesterday, Carolina texted me and she says, we need another graphic because, things have changed. They don't accept already closed. Closed take a lot of space and they want
Yeah.
something different. I was busy. I said, if you don't mind, can you just text Rich? I don't even know like what she talked to him about. I don't know anything, but like within an hour, she's texting me, she's sending me an image that Rich already created. So what did Rich do? Not much, but he did enough.
Yeah.
He did enough. He made it a priority in the middle of the day when he's busy. He contributed already. And that's what matters. You know what? He actually cares. He's watching the news, the real news, and he actually cares and he shows that he cares. And that's enough. Rich
Yep.
doesn't need to take money from his family. He doesn't need to do any of that. He just has to contribute a little bit. And I don't see Rich posting everywhere on social media what a great guy he is. How he has respect, love, integrity, how he's a decent human being. Typically, people that say that, you have to ask
Yeah.
yourself a question: is it actually true?
Yep.
Because that's highly suspicious, and that's what matters.
Yep. And one of our favorite people here, JoJo, who I know respects the heck out of you and the brand. The one thing I've taught my kids these days is you may not be able to change the world, but you can be the change you want in the world. Be the difference.
Yeah, this guy is just. I'm actually one of his probably biggest fans.
Me
This
too.
this guy is. I mean, I can't stop praising JoJo. It's just I have no idea what planet he's from because he's just a weirdo. I mean, and why am I calling him a weirdo? Because it's a compliment. When you see somebody that is so different from the not average, but I would say like the values in people have changed. I mean,
Yeah.
like when you and I call each other friends, I mean, if somebody would listen to our conversations, they would go like, "Why are you insulting each other? Why
Well,
you treat why you treat each other so horribly?" They're gonna miss the point that we are actually very, very good friends. But the thing is that I see people saying, "My brother, my friend, I love you." Those words are thrown around nonstop. But you
yeah.
know what? They lost value and meaning. They mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I, you know what? I always believe saying I love you, saying you're my friend, saying how much I care about you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's fine, but it's the actions that again gonna portray those feelings. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if somebody's gonna say to me, somebody who actually does love me, gonna say to me, "I love you." I'm more than likely going to say, not necessarily the generic "I love you too," but I'm probably going to say "I know."
Yep.
Because if it's true, I already know you love me. I already know you actually care about me. Why? Because you showed it. When I see messages nonstop from Alexander, and I see messages nonstop from Dan from Ghost, and I see messages nonstop from Jake and James and you and Shane and Lucas, when I see those messages, I don't need those guys to tell me how much they respect me or they love me or they support me. I already know that, and that's more than enough. But when I see somebody who I haven't talked in a year or two, and he's going to say how much he cares about me, how much he loves me, how much he respects me, and then he's going to say something, "We got to get together. You know what? I'll call you." I already know you're not going to call me.
Yeah.
You're not going to call me. You're not going to call me. We're not going to see each other. And it was fake. And then a year or two later, when I see you again, you're going to say exactly the same thing.
Yep.
And that's, I
Exactly.
think, what's wrong with the world right now, because that I spoke to a friend of mine from Russia today, and actually no, I trained with this guy in Thailand years ago, 6 7 years ago, and he sent me a message on WhatsApp last night, and he was like, "Hey Rob, how you doing?" It's his name is Ivan, ironically, and he sent me a great guy, and I said, "Oh hey," I said, "How you doing?" It's not like we're gonna talk about war all of a sudden. And he is Russian from deep Russia. I mean, Siberia pretty much. And his first thing to me, he goes, "Oh, thank God." He said, "I thought you're not gonna want to talk to me." That
Oh,
was his
geez.
perception.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
said, "Well, why wouldn't I want to talk to you?" He says, "Because I feel so ashamed and so guilty about what's going on." And I teared up. I teared up because,
Yeah.
number one, it's really not his fault. Number two, you really think I'm that shallow that I'm going to blame you something that you haven't done? And he goes, "Me, people around me, my friends, my family, we all against war. We all against bloodshed." He says, "But there is nothing we can do." Today, I was told if you're going to go outside and you're going to protest, you're probably looking at least 3 years in jail.
Really? Okay.
So I'm I'm just going to ask everybody. I heard people are boycotting Russian vodka and whatnot. Stop that nonsense. Stop it.
Yeah. And
It's
so I
it's
saw a
not
meme the
right.
other day. I saw a meme somebody posted, it doesn't mean you need to boycott local Russian restaurants and Ukraine restaurants and Russian food and everything else. No, no.
It's completely unnecessary. Why are you punishing people that have absolutely nothing to do? Nothing to do
Exactly.
about it. It's you can go outside right now and say fuck Obama or fuck Biden or fuck Trump, and some people will agree with you, some people will disagree with you, but you're not going to jail over it. Certain people might cancel you, but you're not going to go to jail over it. You can still express yourself. Go outside in Russia, even though people are protesting, but how many of them are getting beaten up? How many of them are getting arrested?
Yes, and it's the innocent people.
Innocent people, like you can't, like, don't make it general. Don't think that all Russians are bad. Not all Germans are bad. Not all Ukrainians are good.
Yeah. So, Robik, in full circle, and I know we pressed it earlier, but in case anybody that's chiming on now, is the gym still taking donations? I know you.
Yeah. Right now, actually, there is like a whole team there with Carolina, and they packing, wrapping, sending vans, trucks, and whatnot. Yeah, and guys, reach out. Text me, text Carolina, DM Apollon Gym if you can. Definitely, we accept. I mean, anything you can help with. If you can't, that's fine. That's fine. No pressure whatsoever. Go elsewhere, donate, or don't donate at all. Not everybody has something to donate, and that is fine too. But I'm just asking you, please do the right thing. Just make your voice heard, and that's it.
Yep.
The more people speak up, will it make a difference? More than likely, actually, no. No, it won't, because we're not dealing with a rational person. We're not dealing with a nation. We're dealing with a dictator, a psychotic piece of shit, a murderer that's not going to give a fuck. But you know what? It will make a difference to those who are victims. It will make a difference that you're actually showing that you actually care about them, that you're not indifferent, that you're making your voice heard. Do something. Don't think just because it's not happening in New Jersey or Massachusetts or California that it has nothing to do with you. It does.
Yes.
And just do the right thing. That's all I'm asking for those actually that that do listen to this, that do listen to us. Don't make me, Carolina, or any one of us, or Sean, we're not heroes. We're not.
No.
People who are dying over there for absolutely no reason, or fighting for the country, those are the heroes, and they need just a little bit of help. They just need a little bit of support. That's all I'm asking. But don't claim to have integrity and respect, and claim how good of a human being you are. Show it.
Yep.
Because if you're gonna talk, I'll call you out on it. I'm not gonna hesitate for a split second. And if you're gonna have a problem with me, don't. Just don't. It's right now, probably I'm the last person you wanna get on the bad side of. It's not a good, because you know what? If your homeland was invaded, if this happened to you, if you were affected by it, and your friends, family, and whatnot, if you're a half decent human being, you would have done exactly the same thing as I do.
Yep. Want to just chime in something here from our friend Simon. Poland has bittersweet history with Ukraine. Despite this fact, support has been overwhelming. You can't blame people for what other people did like 80 years ago. And I know we discussed that earlier. You can't hold against you and I what our ancestors did many years ago.
I've never met Simon. We live in different countries. But this guy is absolutely amazing. He's amazing. He's been sending messages nonstop. He's been sharing pictures and footage and whatnot. And he's absolutely right. He's 100% right. Poland has been amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, that's pretty much like right now the air supply to Ukraine. And Poland is in deep risk of retaliation from Russia, much bigger Russia. And Poland is definitely in danger. I mean, make no mistake, Russia at any point can turn its attention against Poland at any time. And Putin actually warned anyone who's going to be interfering, anyone who's going to be helping, is running a risk. And that motherfucker is backing it up. And Poland is doing exactly what he asked not to do. What does it show about Polish people? that, you know what, despite the bad history, despite everything, when shit hits the fan, Polish people delivered.
Yeah. So, Rob, again, in closing, again, I stand behind you. I stand behind this whole thing. Again, not calling you hero because you don't deserve to be hero. But again,
No.
it's the voices and everything that you're doing. Just the voices out there. Every little bit adds up for anybody that's watching this.
Thank you, Sean. And, if anyone has any questions about why, all I'm asking you is just go on my Instagram and have a look at the photo of a little girl I posted yesterday.
Broke my heart.
And if
Yeah.
that doesn't break your heart and doesn't make you do the right thing, you know what? You and I cannot be friends. I would actually prefer not to talk to you ever again. Because if that doesn't move you, that's all I'm asking. Just look at her photo. That's it.
And it's that cliche grandma always says, you have nothing nice to say, don't fucking say it.
Oh, absolutely. And I named a few names or maybe a few companies or whatnot, in probably a negative light. I'm just going to ask Mark Glazier, if you want to have a word with me, reach out to me. Or anyone, reach out to me directly. But do not challenge me. Do not challenge me. It will not end bad. It will not end good. Right now, my homeland's been attacked. My country's been attacked. Yes, I'm a little bit emotional. Yes, I'm a little bit angry. Yes, I'm a little bit pissed, and rightfully so. Anyone who has a problem with me, you know my number, you know where to reach me. I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. You want to make a public spectacle about it? I mean, it's your call, but wouldn't be smart. Not right now.
Anything else you want to get off your chest, my friend, as we wind down?
No, I'm going to actually finish it on a good note. Especially to you, Sean, for allowing me this platform, and everybody who's been supporting. Just thank you. I'm not going to say on behalf of people of Ukraine and whatnot. I'm not running for office. No, just thank you for doing the right thing. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. Thank you, and God bless everybody. And I appreciate your love, your support, your voice. And just, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And again, follow Robik on Instagram. If you need any clarity, look at some of the things, anything you want to donate, anything you want to do. Again, every little bit helps. And as always, folks, I know it's lunchtime. Thank you so much for chiming in and watching.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.